I guess we're live.
Not yet.
It says live.
Oh, we are live. And what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Wheelock, and welcome back to the Facebook page in our first ever evening live interview here at the Wheelock Group at Compass. And a lot of our friends, past clients, neighbors are watching us tonight. And as we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks, we're coming to you not just with real estate, because real estate can wait, and we're supporting local businesses, bringing to you all of the things that people are doing to really push through this coronavirus incident. And I thought there'd be nobody better to bring on tonight than my good buddy and personal fitness and life coach / trainer, Willay Weeks from CYB Fit Lab. What's up, man? How's it going?
What's going on? How are you?
Good, man. It sounds like you got some kids in the background there. What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm a newly married. I call it newly because it's 5 years, and we have two kids. We got Lincoln and Cooper, and 7:30 p.m. Interview definitely is right when it's bedtime. So I just read two books and put them down. And I guess Lincoln is like the smartest one. She knows everything that's going on. So she's like ready to be on camera right now, but she has to be in bed. So,
well, this is 7:30, so it's hardly an interview. It's more like a cocktail hour and discussion.
Oh yeah.
I brought Maker's Mark to the party.
I got the Woodford. I'm sorry, I got Woodford. I was thinking Basil's Hayden. Shout out to Adapt. They always hook me up with some good whiskey bourbon, but I went Woodford Reserve. Shout out to Aunt Holly, my wife's aunt, who loves it. We always have it in the house. So if you're watching, I got one for you, love.
Love it, man.
What are you drinking? You got Maker's Mark, you said?
Happy hour has to end just because you're married and have kids, right?
That's when it starts.
I'm drinking. I told you, man. I'm drinking Maker's Mark. You've got me by a notch though with that Woodford, because that's my go-to. But listen, man, I brought you on because you're a good personal friend and you have a business that I love. And I mean, there's really just 1,000 reasons to bring you on, other than your good looks. You know, there's the fact that you have one of the best fitness studios in Atlanta, in my opinion. I know I train there. And secondly, you guys have done an incredible job of adapting to this environment. I mean, the thing I'm seeing in the real estate industry, right, is people are innovating like crazy and really doing things where technology was always there, but we were just kind of ignoring it, right? So I see you applying that to the fitness industry. And I just support your business. I want to support all small businesses. I think that's a huge part of our community, right? Is to support, the lifeblood, which is small business. So, but before we, kind of break it down, give everybody, I know who you are. Some of the people that I know who you are. So tell everybody else, who is Willay Weeks?
Well, Willay Weeks, how do I start? Well, Willay Weeks is
Once upon a time.
What'd you say?
Once upon a time, right?
Once upon a time, right? Yeah. So Willay Weeks is I'm pretty much a humbled young guy who 32 from West Africa, pride and joy from Liberia, Monrovia, Liberia. And one of the biggest things that I pride myself in is community and family. And so when you look at it from a standpoint of where I've come from and where I'm trying to be, I definitely consider that to be what I stand for. And so when you see Willay Weeks, the idea for what I stand for is my name, that last name Weeks, and pretty much what I aim to achieve every single day is to kind of impact one person's life a day. So at the end of the day, when you look at it from what I do in my everyday life as a fitness coach, personal trainer, I take it way more than just personal training. And I mean, you're a client of mine and you kind of probably can understand what I mean by that, because I look at it from a relationship standpoint and I try to interact and impact someone's life just as much as I would want them to impact and interact with my life.
Why haven't you fired me as a client yet? That's my only question.
Oh man, never fired you, man. I just love the fact that I was always given opportunity, and that's another thing I stand for. And so I try to give everyone that I feel like is hungry and wants an opportunity to work and evolve and improve, have that opportunity. So thankful for you, thankful for our clients who understand the model that we're trying to create at CYB. And pretty much you're open to working with Joanna, with Andrew, with our whole squad at CYB and kind of transition there. So I pretty much came from a finance background, pretty much transitioned over to personal training in 2008. Shout out to Lincoln. Lincoln is sleeping. And literally, you look at it from a standpoint of how I came into the business. I came from a finance background and decided that I was going to kind of work as a personal trainer because of my background in sports. And then transitioned, got married. My wife, Brady Black Weeks, and our two kids, Lincoln and Cooper. Lincoln is turning 3 in 2 weeks. And Cooper is 1 in the month. He's going to be 2. And pretty much come through from a family standpoint and then build community through that. And same thing with the business. It's kind of like goes hand in hand. And that's what we're trying to do.
So tell me then about CYB, which for those of you that don't know is catch your breath.
Definitely.
That's the mantra. And whenever I'm between sets, you always say, Jason, take a CYB moment, you know? Because I probably need to.
We all need CYB moments. I mean, think about it.
With you, I need a CYB moment.
Think about it. So I always talk about how, you know, it's like a chain, like everything that's in your life, pretty much it's all transition from whatever happened like last week or 2 months ago or a month ago. So literally I had a client, Heather Trolene, and she's the one who always was like, Blay, you always say, catch your breath. And so at the end of the day, that's how our name Catch Your Breath came about. I mean, it was literally from a client who I used to train back in the day. And so now we have CYB Atlanta, and CYB Atlanta is an exclusive integrative personal training company that's based around connecting clients with the right network of fitness professionals. So a lot of people think of us as more of a personal training studio, and you come in and get a workout, and we're so far from that only. And we have more of a system where you are pretty much looking at it from a standpoint of you as a client. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You as a client, you're coming in and you tell us what you need, and you're actually the person who is creating your method of training from the information you're giving us. So we do it in reverse. If you think about it, the average fitness company or studio you go to work out, they have their system already created and they put you in it and they expect you to adapt to it. Where I come in is I say, it's like a relationship. You literally come in, you meet somebody for the first time and you interact with them, and you have to adapt and compromise and develop some relationship through what they're telling you from their fitness background, from their injury background, from their lifestyle. And then you pretty much design a program. That's where I come in as the architect, and I lay out a plan that evolves as well. Because throughout the time that I've known you, for example, we've evolved as client and trainer.
Right.
And so that's pretty much what CYB is all about. It's a holistic approach, not from a natural standpoint, holistic meaning mind and body. And we kind of connect those things together, and we transition the process of building a program that is evolving every 3 to 6 months as we go. How long have you been working out with us now?
So backstory, I remember I booked you because you used to do ClassPass, and now you don't do group fitness, you just do personal training. But at the time you were attracting new clients that way. So I booked a ClassPass on a Saturday morning.
Yep.
And I remember going to the gym and you call me, and I'm driving down Piedmont Road, and there's this guy, Wale. He's like, hey, I'm Wale Weeks from CYB. Give me all these directions on where to park. And I'm like, wow, this is personal service. I got the owner of the gym calling me on the way to my first ClassPass. So crazy. What am I doing? And then of course, by the end of the session, I was like, where can we talk about personal training? So that's my really fond memory of joining you. And basically I think that your philosophy is spot on, which is that you said, what's your goal? You know, do you want to look a certain way? Like, what do you want? You know, is this for, you want to be an athlete? You just want to look at whatever it is, like what's your goal and how do you want to get there? And then you sort of tailored this very customized. You're definitely not like, you know, you go to a lot of trainers and they just kind of dump you into the same kind of regimen, right? But I really like your dieting strategy that you really focused on starting last year that worked a lot with me, which was a little different than the low carb diet, right? That people sort of relapse from, right? Because they're so deprived of
Right.
what they love.
Definitely. I mean, anything in life. So just to give you a quick breakdown and give y'all a quick breakdown, the idea is to look at life and say, what is it that you can restrict from your life in an everyday standpoint, you know? And if you do that, there's like a very high chance that you go back to it. And so I always look at fitness the same way. And I say, okay, well, I can say I'm never going to drink again, right? But that's not realistic. I mean, we're growing up in age, and if I used to drink and I have something that I like to do, I do it here and there. And so at the end of the day, I've always said, when you came to me and you were figuring out what to eat and stuff, I kind of told you, disclaimer, I do not design meal plans. I do not tell you what to eat. And so what I told you was, yo, what is it that you're having problems with? I literally asked you questions, and that's what you have to do. You have to ask questions, get information, kind of like data collection, and then you dissect it and you break it down. And that's what we did. And I realized that you have a lifestyle that you engage with clients. You have to take people out. So I can't tell you not to eat out. You have trainers that tell people eat broccoli and chicken, and it's great. It works for some people. But the type of clientele that I train, it's not realistic. And so what we did was we said, how about you look at some of the carbs you eat and understand the fiber content and make sure that you are analyzing your food and understanding what you're eating, and not like necessarily counting calories or counting carbohydrates, but just understanding what you're eating. Make sure that it does break down, make sure it is natural, and make sure that it's something that you like. And pretty much we just assess you on a regular basis, and it kind of worked out for a little bit. And then pretty much we just transitioned as we progressed on and went from there.
Right.
What were your thoughts?
I mean, I think that I like you do these quarterly and sort of semi-monthly checkups, whether it be measurements. You do measurements more frequently. You always like to measure me when I'm back from a trip.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I can't stand that shit, man.
Yeah, but buddy, like, dude, come on. Like, so this is the deal.
Love to get me my worst. You can't have.
This is the deal. How many times a year do you travel? You travel about 3 to 4 times a year.
At least. I mean, right now it's about 0 to 1, maybe.
1, yeah. Well, I think that's for everybody. Yeah. But the whole idea, though, is that, Jason, when you look at it from a standpoint of what I do as a business owner, is I look at everybody's lifestyle. You are someone who travels. You are going to go out when you travel. You are going to live your life. So me doing measurements is not to give you some type of pat on your back and say, oh my God, you did great. That's not the goal for measurements. The goal for measurements is to see what you are on a trending basis, right? When Google does analysis on different environments, or Facebook looks at how many people are on Facebook Live at 7:30 p.m., they don't care if someone just was in a COVID-19 situation, or it was literally because there's a party going on. You know, they're taking information and they're gathering it based on the situation that was at hand, and then they assess it and analyze the whole breakdown, and then they come up with data, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so it's the same thing from my standpoint. I mean, I'm looking at it more from a manual standpoint for now, but the idea is to let you understand that there are trends in people's lives and that it's not always going to be great. And so that's why we do it the way we do it. And hopefully you're cool with that now.
Well, so I think the public here, our listeners or watchers in this case, are starting to catch on to the fact that you have some wisdom to give. So I have a couple questions from the audience.
Oh, cool.
Specifically, another real estate colleague of mine, Ali LaCroix.
What's up, Ali?
And she wants to know, she's got a couple questions. First of all, She wants to know how important, she's a cyclist, by the way. And she's asking how important is cross training if you're only competing in one sport? And I'll turn that over to you.
How important is cross training in, say that again?
She's saying how important is cross training if you're only competing in one sport?
That's a very great question, Ali. I think from where I stand, again, when you are in any performance sport, no matter whether it's one or two or three, I think one is really what you should be focused on per season. But performance, it's all about, number one, your mindset. And then it's all about understanding what you're doing. So I think cross training is very important. I think the idea of cross training, though, has to come back to the program itself. And so there has to be some ability for the person who is training you or the expert who is working with you on that particular sport. It doesn't have to be a retired cyclist, but they have to understand the fundamentals of what you want to achieve. And so, for example, in my situation, I am a performance coach, not necessarily for strength training or program training, strength training or power training or anything particular. I just need to understand what somebody needs to achieve, whether it's faster speed, quickness, acceleration, more power. And my expertise in science from biomechanics or movement will allow me to go back to my books, my research, understand exactly what that person needs just from getting the overall information that I have, but then also doing a couple of assessments on that particular person. Hip mobility, knee flexion, knee extension, the ability to move in that particular sport. And then I can kind of go into pushing them a certain way. So I think cross training is very important. I don't believe that anyone who wants to run faster should keep running. I think anybody who wants to cycle faster or with better stamina or endurance should just keep cycling. I think that there are all these other avenues in training that they should attain and should understand, and then they put it together so it can synchronize into this great system and be really, really good at it.
Ali has one more supplemental question, but she's asking for a friend.
Let's do it.
If she's asking if an average of 2 drinks per evening will affect her athletic or her friend's athletic performance.
I mean, that's a tricky one. I mean, I think it's different for everybody, right? But I think it all depends on what they're drinking. I mean, are they drinking like cognac at night? Are they drinking like what's that really sweet drink that amaretto sours?
Right.
Everything in each person's life is different, and so I don't like to restrict people. So a performance person, I think you will perform better if you clean out your system, right? But if it's something that your body wants and you're not doing it professionally, I think that what's her friend's name? Did you say that or no? No, Ali is her name, but what's her friend's name?
She didn't tell me.
Okay, so Ali. So the biggest thing for me is I always like to tell people everybody's different, right? That's really a fact. So for you, or for your friend, I would definitely say that the biggest thing I would recommend is asking you to take some time and if you are drinking twice a week, you said?
It's saying like twice per night. I don't know.
Oh, whoa, twice per night. I thought you said twice per week. Twice per night is a different story. I don't think you can perform anything twice a night. Buddy.
All right. I think we need to move on from the questions segment. I actually wanted to talk to you about, on a more serious note, how excited I am about what you guys have done to evolve your business, because I mean, that's really the cool thing about recessions, right? And this is not, I mean, what's happening is not cool, right? The virus. But from a business standpoint, you really see people that are entrepreneurs think outside the box when times are tough. That's when people grab market share and whatever they're good at. It's when they innovate. And in this case, I think there's going to be more progression in technology than we've ever seen before from this 2-3 month period. And in funny enough terms, technology that already existed. I mean, we're sitting here on Zoom live on Facebook, which has been available for a while. And now this is a mainstream thing, right?
Definitely.
But from a standpoint of your business, you guys have gone totally virtual with your clientele, and you're not a traditional gym where you get on ClassPass and go and it's 10, 15 people, group fitness. You guys are very specific clientele that's one-on-one. I think 2, or what's the most you do? 2, 3-on-1 personal?
2-on-1. 2-on-1.
So you've gone totally virtual. I've been working out twice a week, just like I always have here at the house. I've had
shout out to Joanna.
Shout out to Joanna. She's been facilitating great workouts. She's been letting me go outside, which is awesome. I don't get to do that very much. Actually, I'm probably going outside more than ever, to be honest with you, because there's nothing else to do. But we've got equipment. You don't need all of the fancy gym equipment. And essentially, she's a tripod with a phone on it, FaceTiming. And I've got my AirPods in, and we're doing these insane workouts that, I feel like I haven't missed a beat. So tell me a little bit about how, what the genesis of that was, how you put that together so quickly, and, tell me how your clients are responding.
Definitely. A great question. I definitely would start off by saying that, it's tough what's going on, and it's a challenging thing for everybody right now, and definitely wishing all of everyone out there being safe and staying home. And I guess I wouldn't say stay, but pretty much being socially distant and taking care of yourself. But my biggest thing when I decided as a business owner is what is it that is available and what isn't everyone doing, if that makes sense. So right now, virtual training is pretty much the thing. Everybody has to do it. It's like the highest demand thing for fitness. You go on IG and it's like the other day I saw like a Simpsons picture of everybody out in the Simpsons page, and it's like a live head on every single Simpson person, right? And it's like the biggest thing that you look at is like, what are they doing? Because at the end of the day, you can either look at things as a micro or a macro. And I'm more on the macro end of a big picture of what is it that the client wants? Not what is it that I can do, but what is it that the client wants? And so from my end, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, right now, we have a situation where we have to do virtual training. Luckily, about 5 years ago, 2015, one of my first clients I ever had, he was retiring from a big company. He was a CEO, vice president of the company, and he was retiring. And I could either let him go, lose him as a client, or I could create something that would work because he's going to be traveling and going all over the place on business trips. He was still on a board of directors and stuff. And so I had to come up with something. And I decided, what if we just did a workout on our phone? Because we do have FaceTime, we do have WhatsApp, we do have Skype. You tell me what works for you, and let's just try it out. He hates doing anything that what he's used to doing. And the first time he did it, he loved it. He was like, I can still do my workouts. I can still be at 6 a.m. in the morning or 4 a.m. in the morning, work out, and I can go about my day and not have anything change. So what I said was, let's create that. So I created that a long time ago, 5 years ago. So when this happened, I already had a few clients doing it. And all I had to do was just get my team together. We sit down, figure out the kinks that might bother them. Them coming to the gym wouldn't work because of the situation at hand. And we just agreed that we'll kind of have something that would work for our clients, provide it available to all our clients for 2 weeks free of charge, see if they want to do it. And then if they want to do it, we can provide the same service as much as possible, where we can either deliver the equipment that they need to use based on the trainer who's training them. And if I had to go deliver it to the house, great. If they wanted to come pick it up themselves, great. But we'll disinfect it and have it available to them. And so those are things that we decided to do that was completely different than just getting online and just doing a group workout, okay? And I'm not saying that's not great. Everybody should be working out. It's very important. but we had to stick to what we stand for as a company. And to me, that's really, really important as a business owner, that we have the value of what is it that the client wants, not what is it that we can deliver, what is it that the client wants. And they want something that's very, very routine that they're used to, versus having to completely flip-flop and change over based on what can be done versus recreating what can be done, so that they have something as normal as what they're used to. Kind of like what you just said. It feels like you haven't missed a beat. That's a very big thing that I'm happy about hearing, that you said that you did not miss a beat.
What do you think, do you think overall clients have responded well to the idea? Was there like an adjustment period? And yeah, I mean, you're like ready to run with this. You're like, Jason, I know the answer.
No. I think there was an adjustment period. I mean, I think clients are not, especially our clientele.
Man, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I was hesitant about
for sure
training virtually because I barely remember what count I am on in any set we're doing. That's why I hired you.
That's why we use time with you. We just go with time.
Yeah.
Time.
So like now I'm doing this through technology, and I'm quarantining, which is not good for my personality either. I'm out in the field, helping people do real estate all the time. So, but then I did it a couple of times and I was like, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do
it. It's definitely a hesitance for anybody, right? I mean, you're talking about people who are used to routine regimen, who, again, I built my business off of the fact that we have type A individuals who are very routine, who are very regimented, who are structured, who love accountability, who love convenience, who love consistency. I mean, that's what the business is built off of. It's not built off of getting a workout. It's built off of consistency, convenience, accountability, structure, routine. And then you come in and you have a situation where all of that can be wiped off, or you find a way to recreate it. And that's what I had to sit down and do. Hey, Jason's on. Want to see what's up? Jason's on. Sorry, I'm literally doing some candid real life stuff and saying hi.
I just got my jammies on and washed my face, showered up, ready for bed.
Brad, right here. We both went to Ole Miss, to all the live audience out there.
Ole Miss folks right here.
Hotty toddy.
Rebels in the house.
Well,
you have any questions for Brady? How's she holding up with my craziness?
How many
times do we fight a day? I mean,
how do you survive under the same roof with him 24/7? That's what I want to
know. It's tough.
I mean, I barely can get.
That's why I leave every morning. What do you think?
Good to see you, Brady.
You too, Jason.
Oh man.
I
was waiting for those questions to come up. Like, yo,
like the real life questions, right? Like, why have you not killed each other yet?
So that's what this was all about today. What are you talking about?
So what's the family been up to? You're quarantined at home. You're a trainer. You're used to being at your, at your office. Your gym is your office, and now you're like stuck at home. So are you?
Yeah. So I would say I wouldn't say I'm stuck at home. I do go to the office early, the gym early in the morning. It's been closed since the 14th, I believe, or the 16th is when we closed that Monday. And everybody's training from home. I do have the cleaning crew going every single day. We clean at night, even though we're not there. And then we have a deep cleaning crew that goes once a week right now, since nobody's there. But I go in and still do my routine, because one of the things that I would say is this: in the state of disorder, it's very important to have some way to create order through what you've always done. And that helps with your mental. Or else what ends up happening is you start to just slack off. And if you slack off, then you lose the desire and the want to still achieve what you've always wanted to achieve. So for me, I come from this mental state where I'm like, okay, how can I create a situation where at 3 a.m. I'm still waking up, 4 a.m. I still have my client appointment, and I keep moving on from there. And so that's pretty much where I have to realize that I can leave, go to work, come back, still make breakfast for the kids by 7:30. I can still get them dressed with my wife, change their diaper in the morning, whatever it is, because that's what I always did on Monday, Wednesdays, whatever. And so I still try to keep as much routine as I can, because that's really important in the overall scheme of pretty much coming out of this like normal. Or else we're going to come out of this stuff really slow and not have anything going, and everything's going to be really slow going forward.
It's so funny you say that, because the first couple of weeks I was home, it's easy to get into this routine really quick where you're kind of off the wagon, especially if you're not wired to be. I mean, if you were working from home already, it probably didn't change much. Like my operations manager, Christina Wilson, she's awesome. She works remotely from Charleston, from her house every day. So basically, other than her social life, the work life hasn't changed. But for those of us that are used to getting out in the world, right?
Yep.
I mean, in the real estate, if you're on the sales side in the real estate business, especially, you're out in the field meeting people, right?
Definitely.
Helping clients, meeting with new clients, and in my case, with my team, trying to support them every day.
Yep.
And so, I was having these days where I've got Lulu on, and I could see my wake up time slowly sliding, right? Because when I'm at home, my brain is wired in lounge mode. Like my brain is triggered to, let's have, a cocktail like we're having now, or
cocktails.
Have some food.
Let's do this again, by the way. This is great.
Do it. And so I had to rediscipline. I woke up one weekend after I'd gone this way for a couple of weeks, and I said, I got to get up. I got to put a dress shirt on. I got to put jeans on, and I got to put on dress shoes.
Yep.
Just like I always have. And that little mental kick was effective for me personally, because now I'm getting up earlier again. And when I get dressed, like I'm going to the office, I'm in work mode. I figured out when I'm in sweats, now that's kind of your office gear though, because you're trained, but like whatever it is that you have to do.
Wearing shorts today, man.
There you go.
Boy, what you talking about?
Like you've got like the fitness stuff, and then you've got like slacks below.
I got at least I'm wearing something under there, because most people come on here just
right.
Suit and tie up top and nothing at the bottom.
Yeah, you're the first person to have pants on in this interview. That doesn't leave a lot of people.
I mean, Justin Anthony, what you been wearing, man? You had something under there?
I don't know. You didn't show me.
Hope not.
But I think we all have to sort of trick ourselves, whatever we need to do, into our reality to stay productive. And that's what I've done is I don't wear a suit, but I suit up in the way that I normally do, in a sense. And I go to work, and then I put the sweats on when it's over. So it's this new reality. Humans are really adaptive. That's what I think the biggest aha I'm getting from all this is how everyone is sort of settling in their own way after a little bit of chaos at first,
Yeah.
It feels like it's loosened up, and now this is life, and humans can go through change and adjust so resiliently. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's a fact. I also do, and I'll be on the more realistic side. That's really optimistic, which is great. You have those two, right? You have people who are not used to having some shakeup, and then they completely have a flip-flop, and then they have to start doing stuff differently, and then they either continue to work on just being just go with the flow, or they create something. Like you just said, you get up like Jason, you just said you get up and you get dressed and you act like everything is normal. Everyone doesn't do that, just so you know.
Some people don't put clothes on.
No, some people don't put clothes on. It's on Instagram. It's on social media. I've been sitting all day. I haven't taken a bath, or I haven't taken a shower, or I haven't changed my underwear. I mean, it's on. I mean, if you go on Instagram or you go on Facebook, people are saying that. But what I would say is this. With routine, it's funny you brought that up, because that's what I am trying to explain to my clients right now. Like what I'm explaining to clients is like, we're not trying to sit here and just give you a workout. We're trying to let you understand that we have to create a sense of normalcy, a sense of routine, and what you're used to doing. Like you're used to leaving the office at 4 p.m. and coming to work out at 4:30 at the gym. Why don't we just keep that same time and you literally work till 4 p.m. at home and you get off your computer at 4:15 and you go and you change your clothes and get ready for a virtual workout and you keep your routine. And a lot of clients hit me up and they're like, oh, I don't have to wake up so I can work out at 9:15 or 9:30. I'm like, no, let's keep your 6:30. What if you try the 6:30 that you've always had and let's keep that routine going because that's what you're used to. What happens in 3 months or 1 month when we go back to work and then you have to go back to 6:15? Oh, no. It feels really weird. No, let's keep the routine going. And you have to control what you can control. That's what I believe in. Like we can control the time we work out. We can control the time we wake up.
It's just hard to do that when rapid change happens in short succession. I think that's
the challenge.
In this situation, that's what it speaks to is we weren't prepared for gradual change. Usually we make the change. In this case, like the change made us, right? So we've had to adapt, right? But I think it's fascinating. And I think that your business has done a great job of adapting really quickly.
Thank you.
And I'm just a really huge fan of yours. And I mean, there's a ton of small businesses that I know that you and I are very familiar with when you're a small business owner in Atlanta, you get to know other small businesses.
Definitely. Shout out Third Eye. I'm always repping Third Eye.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And no, you're good, man. Every week we're talking to different people. And so right now, I think that supporting people that we know in the community and telling everybody out there, I sell real estate for a living, obviously, and our main objective year round is to help people buy and sell homes. But there's a time and a place to do that. And there's a time and a place to remember that, and same with you guys, that without all the other businesses up and running and doing their thing, none of this happens.
Definitely.
For any of us, right? So I encourage everybody to go to @CYB Fit. What's the Instagram handle?
@CYB Atlanta.
@CYB Atlanta. And they can find you there. They can also go, do you have a website that you can
go to? www.cybatlanta.com.
Yeah. So I want everybody to go there. And if you're looking for a fitness routine, if you're looking to do something virtual and you're tired of just taking a run and a walk and doing all the cardio stuff around the neighborhood, this might be a good way to add a little supplement, add some resistance and maybe some whatever it is to supplement your cardio over at CYB without even having to go to CYB and having the trainer call you on your first trip there.
The whole idea is that you always have to catch your breath. And I really appreciate that. And I would say this, since this thing happened, we have a lot of stuff going on. We definitely have the IG Live starting tomorrow. We had Joanna come up and create a way to interact with clients who are interested. And we're complimenting the client to work out online. And we're pretty much using a real life personalization approach where they have a situation which somebody who's watching may relate to. And then Joanna puts them through a particular workout that's focused on that situation and pretty much gives information about that. And so it's a 30-minute workout, 15-minute workout, 15 minutes to converse. And then pretty much I'm doing a CYB for a cause for anyone, medical professionals, anyone who pretty much got affected by the COVID situation going on, where they had to cancel their wedding, where they had to pretty much change households, whatever it is, and they just want to get a workout in. From a mindset standpoint, from just a sweat set standpoint, I am complementing my time because a lot of my clients who currently work out right now are training either with one of our other trainers that we work with. And I'm pretty much on the accounting and all the legal stuff right now. And so I have more free time, and I'm happy to give my time from a community standpoint, give back, interact with other instructors, other fitness trainers, and other clientele and other prospective clientele who just want to do a workout, want to tell us about what they want, get more information about structure, and just provide that time to help them out.
Yeah. I love it, man. Well, listen, I've loved having you on tonight. I'm going to jump in a second, but we got to do more of these cocktail hours, whether they're live or just in person,
Oh, definitely, man. Let's do it. Definitely love the fact that you are all about community. I respect that about you. All the charity work you did last year that I learned from. I think that I always say people are put in your lives for a reason. I think you're a great business person that I look up to. I also appreciate the fact that you are all about philanthropic work. You pretty much are an inspiration to me. I know that as a new business owner, and I appreciate all you're doing. I appreciate you teaching me this stuff, because this is something where I'm not really big on interviews, because I'm just fearful of cameras. But that's a side note. But a year ago this time today, actually, I did my first interview about my company. And so this is like an anniversary, but I really appreciate all you do. And I appreciate you having me on. And hopefully this is great. And I'm looking forward to doing this as well, by the way. So I'm going to have you back on, and we can talk about you and put you in the hot seat. And my questions are different. My questions are way different. So I'm going to put you and flip you over and see how you can answer my questions back and help people understand what you like about CYB, how the virtual training has had you look at it from a different angle, and then pretty much go from there if you're up to it.
I think I can handle it, man. If I can bring you on the Wheelock Group page for 40 minutes, I can give you. All right, everyone. Well, if you're just tuning in or tune in the middle of this, I'm Jason Wheelock with the Wheelock Group of Compass Real Estate here in Atlanta. And we may be in quarantine, but we're not shutting down. So keep watching our page, because we're not only going to deliver amazing real estate content, we're going to deliver amazing people like Wale and others. And we're just going to keep it real in Atlanta while we're sheltering in place. So,
Definitely.
All right, brother.
I appreciate you, man. You have a great night. Cheers. And I appreciate you having me on.
All right. Talk soon, bud.
All right, man. Bye.